Bro, honestly, I didn't know that he was going to the league because it was a lot of rumblings about him having a chance to go to Barca from here. So that's what I was hearing, that he was going to Barcelona. So I was thinking like, all right, he's going to get a chance to play at the EuroLeague level, see how he do there, and then you get a chance to see. So I figured like, man, if he get an opportunity to go there, get in shape, adjust to the game, I think that he would have a chance to be like a solid player. But I for sure would be lying if I told you two-time league MVP and in the position that he is now.
All right, man. Sitting down, back with my man Charles Jenkins, man, from way back, looking
Way
like he
back.
ready to get home, man. Need that cut. Need to get that
That
beard
cut.
lined
You know,
up.
you know the Europe June grind, how it looked.
Man, I'm already knowing, man. It's funny. I look at like pictures from back when I used to hoop, man, and I used to line my own stuff up. And like now that I'm going back to a barber consistently, I'm like, yo, I was trash.
Bro, I tried to line myself up one time and I had the ball strip. And after that, never again. I just been growing it out, bro.
Nah, I feel you, man. I feel you, but yeah, man. Obviously, Jokic has been he's been killing it over there, and well, I guess the entire season for many years now. But he started off back in the Serbia, Almega, when you were over there with us, Crvena Zvezda. What do you remember from his time over there? From y'all matchups together? How many times y'all play against each other?
Bro, I think I played against him maybe over 10 times for sure. Cause we played twice in ABA League, we played twice in Serbian League, and we played in the Cup Finals 2 years in a row. Played against him in the Cup Finals. So I got a chance to see him early. The first year, he was his game was kind of the same, but his team had a lot better players the first time. So they had Vasa Misic that plays for Ephes. He was a starting point guard, and he was like the next guard up. And he also had an older center, like a veteran leader around him. So he was still like effective, but it wasn't like as effective as he was the next season. So the next season they had like a similar team, but a lot of other younger prospects where everything was basically around him. So I got a chance to see him really give us problems. Honestly, he didn't push the ball up the floor as much as he did now. He played more like take threes if he was open. Uh, like followed the game really well. Always made the right plays, whether it was like a high low. Um, Finding the open shooter touch passes, kind of similar to what he's doing now. Especially when we adjusted one time and we went zone because he was chopping us up with the passing. Uh, I definitely gradually see him get better game by game. Honestly,
Yeah, nah, it's funny because I think the a lot of the conversation is how did the NBA miss him? Like how did he slip to the 42nd pick? And I think a lot of it was probably the Euro stereotypes at the time. He doesn't look the part. Like you look at his
yeah,
body even now, you know what I mean.
right.
But skill wise, when you look on the film, I mean, not even just against you guys, but you could see everything was there. The passing, the dribbling, the shooting. But it was real interesting in at least in the clips that I saw against y'all team. He had that matchup with Boban, and him and Boban were kind of going at it. Except it seemed like Jokic was getting a lot done on the perimeter. He seemed like he was hitting from three that game and stuff as well. What do you remember from the matchups between him and Boban? And did you guys throw like different looks at him?
Yeah, I mean, I remember one specific play, bro. Honestly, we played zone against them in the cup, and we kind of slowed them down a little bit. And I remember him getting the ball on like the left on the left block, and instead of like trying to make a play out of it, he kind of backed up like towards the perimeter and he banged the three against us. And at that time, Boban was the best center in Europe, honestly, bro. That was our second season, and he played really well in EuroLeague. So for him to play like that against Boban, it was like a kind of like we needed Boban on offense because he would give him the ball inside. He was dunking every time. But we also had a German center who was a little more athletic, who could go out on the perimeter, Mike Zervis, that we kind of had to like make a decision, especially like when the game was on the line. If we had we needed a defensive stop. We went with a more athletic big because Jokic was so unpredictable. Sometimes, depending on the matchup, that's how he played. If he had Boban guarded him, which he felt he could take him out on the perimeter and maybe make a play, he took Bobby out a little further. Or if he had Mike, he played more pick and roll back to the basket, things like that. But he was definitely a lot confident. A lot of the mega players are confident because their expectation to win isn't as high as like a Red Star, but their expectation to improve is a lot higher, for them to get opportunity to play in the NBA or a better European team. So when you play against them, most of their prospects are playing with that mentality, like nothing to lose, just looking to be better. And every time I played against him, for sure he affected the game.
Yeah, and I want to go back to that, but now after Jokic obviously gets drafted and he's starting to have success in the league, like what were some of the thoughts that were going through your head as you saw him start to blow up?
Bro, honestly, I didn't know that he was going to the league because it was a lot of rumblings about him having a chance to go to Barca from here. So that's what I was hearing, that he was going to Barcelona. So I was thinking like, all right, he's going to get a chance to play at the EuroLeague level, see how he do there, and then you get a chance to see, because it's kind of hard to go from ABA League, straight to the league, because the ABA League competition isn't that high unless you playing against the top four teams. Everybody else is kind of like the same after that. So I didn't know, and then my agent asked me about him. Uh, the same kind of questions now, like how he played, what do I think, and once I heard he was going to Denver, and I know about Mike Malone. I played for Mike Malone in Golden State, so I know that's a good person. He's a good person to be around. Hardworking guy, so I knew his opportunity would be different. But there was a lot of concern about his condition. So I kind of looked at it like he's in a good position to work out, because at that time Denver was known for having like a crazy strength coach, the guy with like the curly hair. So I figured, like, man, if he get an opportunity to go there, get in shape, adjust to the game, I think that he would have a chance to be like a solid player. But I for sure would be lying if I told you two-time league MVP and in the position that he is now. I thought he would have opportunity to help a team, but I didn't know it would be like that, because it was also uh, I played against Nurkic.
Hmm.
And he was a big man out here as well, and his upside isn't even the same as Jokic. He's still a great player, but I didn't know that it would be that far of a gap between both players.
Yeah, no, I mean I think he kind of took everybody by storm. Um, Now I remember. So as you mentioned, you were with Mike Malone at Golden State when he was an assistant. Uh, what do you see? What did you see in Mike back then that has kind of shown itself now that he's with Denver in the head coaching spot?
Man, I remember that he was just like a basketball junkie, bro. He was an assistant coach, but he always like, especially like at the end of the game when it came to like us needing to stop. I always remember him being prepared. I remember one time we played against Denver, and it was like we needed a stop for the game to go in overtime, and Coach Jackson let him like run the timeout, and he took a clipboard, bro, and he drew up the exact same play that they were gonna run. He was like, they were in this situation 2 nights ago. They're probably gonna run this, and that's the exact. That's the exact thing that they ran. I always remember him being around. He didn't really go back to his apartment much. He was always around the gym. Always had his laptop in his hand. Him, Coach Jackson, Darren Erman was another coach. Pete Myers was there. They were always together talking basketball nonstop. So I always looked at all of them as like that, and him a little different because we have a personal relationship because of my college coach Mo Casero. So we spent a lot of time talking about basketball.
Yeah, because I remember that was around the summer that I was working out with y'all, and we was
Right. Yep.
around that summer we had met, and I remember from my time there, he just seemed like his connection with the players was like a little different. Like he just
Yeah,
seemed like he's just kind of swaggy, he's chill. Like you know what I mean. He was real cool. He seemed more of like a players coach from my
players
point of view.
coach, but also brutally honest when he need to be too.
I feel like players respect that though.
Yeah, because you're not. It's not like he not patting you on your back all the time. You know what I mean? Like if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, he'll tell you. He'll tell you in different tones, whatever tone fits for you. He'll definitely have a way to deliver the message for sure.
Nah, that's what's up. And in going back to Mega, I look at Mega as kind of like the G League Ignite team. It's a
Sure,
place
bro.
where the young talent can go there. They can feel free. Like, I mean, even going back to Jokic, he's throwing behind the back passes and things like that he probably couldn't do at a Red Star, what I'm saying, at that
Right,
age. Um, what have you seen over the years? What have you seen with Mega and their growth, and what do you think about the program in general?
man. I'm represented by Mishko in Europe, so I've always like had small conversations with him about who's the next prospect, who's going there, and plus all my connections with the other younger Serbian players from Red Star, from FNP. I always like have an idea of who's the next person. So just in my time playing against them, like I said, they had Vasa Misic, they had Nemanja Dangubic. He played in Red Star. He played in Bayern. Um, they had Alpha Kaba, who been bouncing around in Europe playing in top level teams. They had a Man, they had a couple of NBA guys. They got Vlado Chanchar. He
Yeah,
played for
yeah, Denver.
Nuggets. Timothy Luau.
Yeah,
I wasn't here for
like Jovic got
Zubac.
drafted last year.
Yeah, I wasn't there for Zubac. Zubac played for Mega too. Also, one more guy. I just had his name. Uh, but they've always had prospects, man. Like just from their coach, the head coach that I played against in Mega. He's the assistant coach for the Warriors now.
Hmm.
I think their program is built on developing their talent and shopping them around Europe. And every year they've been able to produce. Get a couple guys some NBA looks.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think they're doing a
And
lot
even when
more.
they're my fault.
No, go ahead.
Even when you play against them, like it's funny because like if you play against certain teams and let's say you win it by like 30 in the game, you know, they don't play like that. You know what I mean? Like you win by 30 or you up 30 because there's times in Red Star where you were up 20, up 30 against them. Like their coaches, they're not subbing the main guys out. They like they learning in that. He's still coaching. He's still yelling at them. He's still expecting them to keep improving, and it correlates to their careers because majority of the dudes that play for Mega, the main guys, they all had the opportunity or have the opportunity to play for big teams. They have another guard that's in the draft this year,
Yeah, yeah, they got a couple of them.
a wing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, they got a couple of them this year. They definitely do a good job, man. I think it's Mishko was a visionary. With that team in general, what I
yeah,
mean, just having it just become like kind of like a filtration for talent, young talent in Europe to kind of springboard themselves to the league. But I appreciate it, man. I appreciate your time, brother.
always, bro.
Yeah.